In a surprising turn of events, Kamala Harris has emerged as the clear front-runner for the 2028 Democratic primary, even after her significant defeat to Donald Trump in the 2024 election. According to a recent Morning Consult poll, former Vice President Kamala Harris leads potential candidates for the 2028 Democratic Party presidential nomination with 36% support among Democratic and Democratic-leaning voters. Former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg follows with 10% support. California Governor Gavin Newsom, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz each receive 5% support. Other potential candidates include entrepreneur Mark Cuban and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, each with 4% backing. New Jersey Senator Cory Booker garnered 3%, while Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, and Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar each received 2% support. These early polls indicate that Harris maintains a significant lead among potential Democratic contenders for the 2028 presidential race. On the Republican side, J.D. Vance is making waves, mirroring Harris's dominance. He is seen as the clear successor to Donald Trump, leading by a substantial 16-point margin in the latest polls, with 42% support. Donald Trump Jr. follows in second place with 26%, while Ron DeSantis lags behind at just 11%. Once a formidable contender against Trump in 2024, DeSantis now appears to lack the backing he once enjoyed, making it unlikely for him to reclaim the Republican nomination. In contrast, J.D. Vance is on an upward trajectory, gaining popularity daily. Initially, he faced a 10-point deficit when he was nominated as the GOP vice presidential candidate. But as more Americans become familiar with him, his approval ratings have steadily improved. In this video, I'll make an early prediction about a potential matchup between Kamala Harris and J.D. Vance in the 2028 presidential election, assuming both are nominated by their respective parties. Let's start by filling in the solid states for Harris. She is expected to win California and Washington, both of which she carried by solid margins against Trump, along with Hawaii, Vermont, Massachusetts, Maryland, the District of Columbia, and Maine's 1st District. This totals a mere 98 electoral votes for Harris. In stark contrast, Joe Biden began with nearly 200 electoral votes in the safe column during the 2020 election, highlighting a significant decline in Harris's standing. Now, let's turn to J.D. Vance's solid states. Many of these are states Trump won decisively in 2024, including South Carolina, Indiana, and Kansas. Vance is likely to perform well in Texas and Florida, where the GOP made impressive gains. He's also expected to sweep through states like Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, North and South Dakota, and much of Nebraska, along with Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, and South Carolina. Vance's appeal to independent voters could further bolster his chances, especially in the Midwest, where he has strong ties as a former U.S. Senator from Ohio. For 2 years before becoming vice president, I can see him winning the state by 15 points or more. Same goes for neighboring Iowa. We also have both Texas and Florida. I can definitely see Vance outperforming Trump by 1 or 2 points down south. I will also be including the state of Alaska in 3 additional electoral votes. With the solid states filled in, J.D. Vance takes a commanding lead with 218 electoral votes to Kamala Harris's 98. Next, we'll examine the likely states, starting with Harris. She's projected to win Oregon, Colorado, and Illinois, although her performance in Illinois has notably declined. In the Northeast, she is expected to carry Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Delaware, bringing her total to 149 electoral votes, still significantly trailing Vance. For Vance, the likely states list is shorter, as many have already been categorized as solid. However, he is expected to win Arizona, North Carolina, and Maine's 2nd District, further solidifying his lead. North Carolina, in particular, has become a Republican stronghold, having gone to Trump in the last 3 elections. Now, let's fill in the lean states for Harris. She's likely to win New Mexico, Nebraska's 2nd district, and Maine, but her margins are expected to be razor thin. New Jersey, once a solid blue state, has become a target for Republicans, and while Harris may still win it, the margin is expected to shrink. Virginia, too, is projected to be a lean state for her, with her support significantly dropping since Biden's tenure. As we move to Vance's lean states, he's expected to perform well in battlegrounds like Nevada. There's no doubt he wins that. Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, which have shifted toward the GOP in recent elections. Both Minnesota and New Hampshire, traditionally Democratic strongholds, are now competitive, with Vance likely to win them by narrow margins. In this hypothetical matchup, J.D. Vance would secure 326 electoral votes, while Kamala Harris would be left with just 212. This outcome would mark the worst performance for any Democrat since Michael Dukakis in 1988, while Vance's success would represent the best Republican showing since George H.W. Bush. This potential matchup is shaping up to be historic. And as we look ahead to the 2028 election, Republicans seem to be in a strong position. However, with 3 years to go, the political landscape could shift dramatically. The dynamics of the race can change based on various factors, including economic conditions, key legislative actions, and the candidates' campaign strategies. As we analyze the current political climate, it's essential to remember that voter sentiment can be unpredictable. Issues such as health care, climate change, and economic inequality will likely play significant roles in shaping the electorate's preferences. Additionally, the candidate's ability to connect with voters on a personal level and address their concerns will be crucial in determining their success. Moreover, the Democratic Party faces the challenge of energizing its base while appealing to moderate and independent voters. If Kamala Harris remains the nominee, she will need to demonstrate her ability to broaden her appeal beyond her current support. This could involve refining her messaging and addressing the concerns of voters who may feel disillusioned after the 2024 election. On the Republican side, J.D. Vance's challenge will be to maintain his momentum while navigating the complexities of party dynamics. As a candidate who is seen as a successor to Trump, he will need to balance the expectations of the party's base with the need to attract swing voters. His ability to articulate a vision that resonates with a broad audience will be key to his success. In conclusion, while the current projections favor J.D. Vance in a hypothetical matchup against Kamala Harris, the political landscape is fluid, and many factors could influence the outcome of the 2028 election. As we move forward, it will be fascinating to watch how both parties strategize and adapt to the evolving political environment. As we look ahead, the potential for unexpected developments looms large. New candidates may emerge, and current ones may shift their positions or strategies in response to the changing political winds. The impact of grassroots movements, social media, and voter mobilization efforts cannot be underestimated, as they can significantly sway public opinion and voter turnout. Furthermore, the role of debates and public appearances will be critical in shaping perceptions of both candidates. How they handle tough questions, engage with opponents, and connect with everyday Americans will be scrutinized closely. The ability to convey authenticity and empathy could prove decisive in a close race. Thank you for joining me in this analysis. I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think will emerge as the nominees for the 2028 election, and what strategies do you believe they should adopt? Don't forget to like this video if you found it insightful, and subscribe for more engaging content as we continue to explore the road to the next presidential election. The journey to 2028 is just beginning, and it promises to be an exciting ride filled with twists and turns.